guys? Raymond Okiri here from the We Rising Suns podcast, the show to help men rediscover what it means to be a man and redefine masculinity. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are all doing well. Some of you guys have probably noticed that I have kind of changed my last name. I actually have not changed it at all. This is actually my real last name. Okiri is my real last name. When I was adopted, my parents hadn't gone through the process of changing my last name over to Logan. So whenever I have to fly or whenever I have to sign documents for work or my W-2 or anything like that, it has to be Raymond Logan. My bank account, all the stuff. I mean, not Raymond Logan, Raymond Okiri. So I am still technically Raymond Okiri. And I guess now that I'm growing up, kind of embracing that side of my biological family, I guess. So I think it's cool. I like the name. And so I don't know, maybe I will keep Raymond Okiri. I think I want to, honestly. So it's just something that's cool. But anyway, today's episode, I have a pretty good episode for you guys. It's probably not going to be very long, but I think that it's something that's very, very important and something that we very much overlook in our lives. And I can't tell you how many times that I see this, especially I see this the most in politics and stuff like that. This is the thing that politicians tend to do a lot. And that one thing is they make all these promises and they say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all this great thing, and I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to make I'm going to build up these businesses and everything. I'm going to bring all these things back and everything. But then when they get elected into office, they do the total opposite of what they say. They're all talk and no action. This is literally what they are. They're just all talk and no action. They speak of all these amazing and great and wonderful things that they are going to do, but when the time comes for them to actually do those things, they just shrug it off their shoulders. And most times they don't even give it a second thought. Oh, I won. Okay, whatever. I sealed my position as president. I sealed my position as mayor. I sealed my position as senator and whatnot. I don't have to think about those things anymore. Now I can kind of just do whatever I want. I mean, this is kind of what it seems like. All these people are just promising big and wonderful things, but their actions don't follow. And you guys have heard that phrase, actions speak louder than words do. And we can also even bring this over to religion and stuff like that. How I hear this so many times I hear sermons, I hear homilies, priests preaching about this stuff, this and that. And I know there's some religious leaders that preach about this and that and giving to the poor and giving out your garments to those who need it. And that's not bad stuff. That's all good stuff. But when some of these bishops that are getting, billions of dollars every year and they're living in mansions and they riding around their limousines and stuff like that, what kind of example are you setting? All these people are looking up to you. All these faithful in the church are looking up to you. That you're their leader. And you're preaching about humbling yourself and giving to the poor, but you're riding around in a limousine living in a multi-million-dollar mansion. This pisses me off so much. You have no right to preach to me about being humble. You have no right to preach to me about giving to the poor, giving to the hungry, giving to those who need it. But you're living up there in the high life. I mean, you are literally called to poverty. That is literally a vow that you take. When you become a priest, you take a vow of poverty. What does living in a multi-million-dollar mansion do? That goes against what you took your vow for. Wow. And it's just, I'm going to calm down here a second. The things that I have noticed over the years from my personal experience is that people are sick and tired of being preached to. People are so sick and tired of being told that they're going to hell. People are so sick and tired of being told that they're living an unholy life. People are so sick and tired of, just being preached to. People want to see your words be put in actions. the thing that I have seen over the year is that not everybody is listening to what you have to say. And half of the time, 90% of the time, they're not listening to the full things that you say, not even one word. But they are always watching what you're doing. They are always observing what you're doing. That's why so many people, they see these priests and they see them preach about this thing, but they're doing all these unholy, unchaste things, and that drives them away. It's like, well, they speak about this and they speak about that, but they're not actually doing what they talk about. People like people who actually keep their promises and follow through. People like people who actually put the words that they say into action in their daily lives. I don't just say, guys, be disciplined, and then I go and I eat a pound of cake and I just do everything I want, sit, binge TV, and just live a very unchaste life and all that stuff. I don't say that. I actually practice discipline in my life. I work out every morning. I get up. I take a cold shower. Those are the things that I do. I actually say the things that I actually do the things that I say. I'm not out here just being an all talk person. I'm not just running my mouth. I mean, it is easy to run your mouth and not put those words into play into your life. This kind of reminds me of something that I learned in probably like 5th or like 4th grade when I was learning like grammar and writing and English and stuff like that. And I don't know why this is coming to me, but it just reminds me of this. It says, you guys know the rule: when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. And I know this sounds weird, but just think about this in reverse. When your mouth does the talking, your 2 little feet better be walking after what you say. Your 2 little feet better be walking after the lifestyle you say that you supposedly lead. Yeah, you better be running after that, because if you're not, you're in trouble, buddy. If you are one of these people who likes to run their mouth all day long, but when it actually comes to do the work and do the things that they say, you just kind of, that looks a little hard. I don't know if I can deliver through on that. I don't know if I can. Just shut up. If you aren't willing to do the things that you say you're going to do, if you aren't willing to do all the things that you promise that you're going to do, or aren't going to be the person that you say that you're going to be, then just shut up. This also reminds me of another saying that my dad always says. My grandpa used to say it all the time. He still does, but he's not dead, but he's in a nursing home, so we don't really see him very, very, very much. But my dad says it all the time now. It goes, "Do as I say, not as I do." I know this kind of actually it's perfect now that I'm thinking about it. So many people say, do this and do this and do this, but don't follow my actions and what I do. I know that's probably not, I'm probably interpreting this saying wrong in this message wrong, but that's just kind of what it reminds me of when I think of this saying. Do as I say, not as I do. So many politicians say, do this, especially in this coronavirus season, in this whole pandemic. So many politicians would say, you can't see your family, you can't go out, you have to wear a mask, you have to shut down your businesses, you have to do all this and this and this. But then they would go out, they would go out and they would go see their family. They would go walking around without masks. They would go into these businesses that they had closed down. But you couldn't do it. Only they could. Do as I say, not as I do. You have to listen to what I have to say, but I will do what pleases me. I will do whatever pleases me when I see fit. And again, these politicians, they're the leaders of our country. They're the ones that we're supposed to look up to, but they can't even do the things that they say. They can't even half the time wear a mask. They can't even half the time stay away from their families when they say that we have to stay away from our families. When we have to wear a mask in our own home. They're not wearing a mask in their own home. I guarantee you, I swear that they are not wearing a mask in their own home. These people, they're sick. They're just, I'm so sick and tired of being told what to do. But if you're not going to do what you say that I have to do, then don't tell me to do it. If you say that I have to live a chaste lifestyle, and if you're not living in a chaste lifestyle, then don't tell me to live a chaste lifestyle. If you're not wearing a mask out in public, then don't tell me to wear a mask out in public. If you're not giving money out to the poor and everything, don't say that I have to give money out to the poor. If you're not willing to stay home and report the news from your own home, which you could do, then don't sit on the news in front of a camera telling me that I have to stay home and work from home and all that. While you're sitting there getting a nice big fat paycheck telling me that I have to stay home. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that I can't go to work because of this whole coronavirus, but you're going to sit there at work telling me that I can't go to work. Don't send me a paycheck. Send me back to work. I don't want any more stimulus. I want my job back. I want my community back. I want this economy to grow. I want this economy to come back to life. I don't want to be told what you're not going to do. All these politicians are stay at home and but they're still meeting. You say, well, they have to meet and they have to pass these important bills. They could do it at home. They could do it over the Zoom. That's what we're doing. It seems to be working pretty well. We're watching church online, sitting home in our pajamas, watching church online. It works. They could manage to do it. It's like, oh, well, they have to sign these papers. Yeah, you could sign these papers at home. I'm just saying. These politicians could stay home and they don't have to gather. Don't tell me that that we have to stay home, but you're not going to stay home too. I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and say that you have to improve your life or you have to turn your life around or you're not going to be successful, but I'm going to sit here and go lie in bed and just live my ordinary life and do everything bad the wrong way. I'm not going to sit here and say that you guys have to be disciplined, then go eat some cake and go take a nice hot shower and then go and binge watch TVs all day of my life. No, I'm going to do the things that I say. And I want to let you guys know that I am doing the things that I say. When I say that we have to become better men, I am constantly every single day trying and improving myself. I'm trying to figure out how to improve myself mentally, spiritually, and physically. I'm working out every day. I'm doing meditation and prayer every day. I'm doing 24-hour fast. I'm doing 48-hour fast to help myself mentally. I'm taking cold showers. This is the things that I'm doing to really, really follow through with the things that I say. I'm actually living the lifestyle that I say that you guys have to live. I'm not giving you a standard and then putting my own standard up against the wall. I'm not giving you that double standard where you have to do what I say, but I will do whatever the hell I want. Don't be like that, guys. That'll wrap up today's episode. You guys already know what you guys got to go do. In the meantime, you guys got to go follow this podcast on all of our platforms. You guys know where you guys got to listen to this. For those of you who are new to this podcast, you guys can follow us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you guys can join both our Facebook pages. There's a private page and there's a public page that you guys can all join. You guys can go follow me on Twitter. You guys can follow our Instagram page for constant updates on the podcast and episode releases and dates and stuff like that. You guys know where you guys can listen to this podcast. You guys can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and many other platforms. So make sure to go listen to this podcast. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow us on Spotify and all of the platforms that you listen to this podcast. In the meantime, you guys already know what you guys got to go do. Go get after it. Go know better, be better, and do better. Go do the things that you say that you're going to do. Go and do the things that you're going to do. Go become a man of action. Teach others by your actions. Don't just run your mouth all day long. Go be a man of action, not just a man of word. Don't be all talk and no action. See you guys next time on the next episode.